Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council members, City Manager, staff, and residents of the City of Gardenvale. My name is Cindy Reyes, and I'm here to present a policy analysis on child abductions that have taken place in the City of Gardenvale on Halloween. On Halloween night in 2016, there were 75 children under the age of 12 that were abducted from residential areas of Gardenvale, and the majority of the perpetrators of these abductions were found to be associated with child human trafficking. The key stakeholders that were identified in my analysis are Keep Our Children Safe and Liberty for All. Keep Our Children Safe is an organization that promotes the safety of children, and they support curfew laws. Liberty for All emphasizes that individuals should be at liberty to do what they want, especially when it pertains to curfews and limitations that are set by policies. The first policy alternative in my analysis is the Child Abduction Law of 1967, which was implemented to reduce child abductions. The abductor faces criminal charges and a $10,000 fine for the violation of the law. This law is enforced by the City of Gardenvale. This chart illustrates the number of abductions with a Child Abduction Law of 1967 in place. There were 70 abductions in 2015, 75 in 2016, and 72 abductions in 2017. Under the Child Abduction Law, Gardenvale is able to allocate $415,000 per day for the Patrol Division of the Police Department. They are also able to allocate $450,000 for Special Task Force and Missing Persons operatives. The second policy alternative is a municipal code that allows curfews to be enforced. Under this alternative, children under 12 would have to be accompanied by an adult age 18 and over after 10 p.m. on Halloween night. The anticipated outcomes of this alternative would be to use more resources that would result in less child abductions. The implementation of this policy would take about 2 months, and to determine the effectiveness, it might take about 3 consecutive years and the collection of data. As far as the budget goes, $700,000 would be allocated to patrolling, and $600,000 would be allocated for Special Task Force and Missing Persons operatives during Halloween. That totals an amount of $1.3 million allocated for the implementation of the policy. The third policy alternative is the Fair Celebration Act, which has no curfew or age restrictions during Halloween. The implementation of this policy would result in a decrease of resources, so there would be less police personnel involvement during Halloween. The budget includes an allocation of $450,000 for normal patrol and $250,000 for First 48 and Missing Persons operatives during Halloween. The decrease in police personnel can be implemented within 2 months. Moreover, this evaluation matrix illustrates some valuable information on the policies that I just discussed. The as-is policy has moderate effectiveness as well as moderate liberty and moderate equity. Equity is moderate because children are getting abducted, and yet there's no infringement on the liberty of those without children. The second policy has high effectiveness in liberty, and that's based on the potential to decrease abductions under the second policy. Equity is low due to the fiscal impact and government imposition on those who don't have children. And the last alternative has low effectiveness due to the lack of addressing the issue at hand. Liberty is also low for the abducted children and their parents, especially as they change their lifestyle based on the fear of abductions. Equity is also low because the rights of Gardenvale children and their parents to be protected from abductions are not being addressed. In conclusion, my recommendation is to implement the second alternative, which increases resources for patrolling and First 48 personnel, as well as missing persons on Halloween night. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.